Cynthia, the big Oscar statue's all wrapped up and ready to go. It's a rainy night here on the red carpet. And the whole city, it seems, is thrumming with anticipation. You know, every year, in addition to the big stars competing for the big awards, there's always one or two breakthrough performances that get nominated. Young actors on the verge of greatness. This year, it's Ryan Gosling, who's up for Best Actor and who's coming to grips with the seductive machinery of stardom. Here's the latest in our series, The Nominees. Hollywood is getting ready for Oscar, and it's all about glamour. Parties, the stars, the red carpet events. This year, like every year, Hollywood is celebrating itself in high style.
Everybody straight ahead.
Just down the street, there's a different world. Downtown LA's Skid Row. Poor, neglected, scarred by homelessness and crime, decidedly unglamorous. Ryan Gosling, Oscar nominee, Hollywood star, calls it home.
Why? I like it down here. You know?
Why?
I like the people. You can trust them.
You can trust them?
Yeah.
A lot of people think otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you always know where they're coming from. You know, in Hollywood, you can't tell.
Ryan Gosling is different. It's not just that this acclaimed young actor has chosen to live in a neighborhood Hollywood mostly shuns, except to use it as a backdrop. It's that he seems to be trying to construct his whole career that way.
You know, it's quieter down here. It's easier to have a, private life.
Do you find that hard? Because you're kind of a heartthrob now, right?
You've been talking to. Crazy.
I read the clips.
Huh?
I read the clips.
Oh, man. You've been talking to my mother.
The aw shucks modesty seems genuine enough there, but you wonder, how long can he hold on to it?
The sun goes up, and then it comes down. But every time that happens, what do you get? You get a new day.
Gosling's intense and deeply disturbing portrayal of an 8th grade inner-city school teacher hooked on crack cocaine in the independent film Half Nelson has earned him a surprise Oscar nomination for Best Actor. He's definitely the dark horse in the Oscar race. At 26, he'd be the youngest actor ever to win, and he's trying hard not to get caught up in all the glamour and hoopla. So what are you going to do this Sunday night?
Sunday night? What's Sunday night?
Isn't that the Oscars?
Oh, yeah, right. I'm going to go to those.
You gonna shave?
Huh?
You gonna shave?
Yeah, I don't know. My mother would probably make me shave. Well, I feel good today.
Half Nelson is a hard movie to watch at times, as Gosling's character sacrifices his idealism to his addictions and involves one of his students, played brilliantly by 17-year-old Sharika Epps, in his downward spiral. Made for less than $1 million, it takes chances big-budget films don't. Did you like this character? This teacher, drug-addicted teacher, who a lot of people would say is corrupting the children in his class. Did you like him?
Oh, I loved him and I hated him, you know. I felt about him like I feel about, you know, myself or my friends or, you know, a lot of people I know, you know. You know, he's not living up to his potential.
How did you prepare for this? You hung out with a high school teacher in Brooklyn?
Smoked a lot of crack. But I was doing that anyway, so.
I'm assuming that's a joke, but I won't.
Well, you know, method.
Gosling's crackhead teacher joins a list of dark characters he's played. A Jewish neo-Nazi, a teenage killer.
Remember me?
What do you want?
I want to blow your brains out. It has nothing to do with the dark side or being attracted to that or anything. It's more about, like, a lot of Hollywood's idea of reality, you know. Doesn't really have anything to do with my reality.
He hasn't always been so intense. Born in Canada, raised in a working-class Mormon family, Gosling first came to light on, yes, the Mickey Mouse Club.
Ryan.
And yes, that's Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Justin Timberlake there, too.
And they were, like, really, like, legitimately talented and could do all this amazing stuff.
Quite a crew. There are no reunions, though. Gosling says it's just like high school. You drift apart. As for Britney Spears' recent tabloid crucifixion after shaving her head, he offers some wry support.
I've shaved my head, it feels good, you know? I bet you she feels great.
Gosling's first really big movie, the one that put him on the map with audiences, was The Notebook.
Why didn't you write me? Why?
I wrote you 365 letters. I wrote you every day for a year.
It was a classic Hollywood weeper, and while the critics called it sappy, the audiences loved it, and it made Gosling a heartthrob to millions of young women. He professes not to notice.
My life is the same as it's always been, and I gotta, I don't really, feel that. I mean, I know that my mother's happier, because I finally made a nice movie.
With that hit and now an Oscar nomination, Gosling can write his own ticket. And so he's gone to Africa, where he's making a movie he co-wrote about the tragedy of child soldiers in Uganda. In the 20 years of civil war there, 25,000 children have been kidnapped and forced to fight and die in battle, while the world has done almost nothing.
And I think that we have the power to end this conflict, this specific conflict.
Is that one of the reasons you're making this movie, to try and make a difference, to try and bring this problem to the light of an American audience, make something happen?
My hope is that, you put people in the shoes of these kids, and to see what, so that you have to go through it with them, because I think that, look, if they can go through it, we should go, we should go through it with them.
Gosling has gotten personally involved in the case of a 3-year-old girl he met named Joyce, who was terribly burned in an attack and is stricken with HIV and tuberculosis. He's trying to raise money for her medical care. It's a delicate balance Ryan Gosling's trying to strike. Hollywood star, Skid Row resident, heartthrob, serious actor, the next big thing, and a guy who wants you to know his Oscar moment is all because of Mom.
I mean, look, the great thing about awards, not that I have any experience with them up until this point, but it seems like they're not really for you anyway. They're for your mom.
They're for your mom.
Awards are for your mom. And my mom deserves it. Because I was a little jerk, and anyone will tell you that. And she knew it. She didn't care. She just kept doing the right thing by me every single time. And she deserves to kind of go to a fancy party and put on a fancy dress, have a bunch of fancy people tell her she did a good job, because she did. Because I'd be scalping tickets for this show if it wasn't for her.
It's all for Mom. Ryan Gosling, a young actor to watch. Though he admits he's the long shot in this race, he's actually betting against himself. He put his money on Forrest Whitaker. Cynthia?
We shall see how it all turns out, but you have to love the mom thing. Terry Moran in Hollywood. When we